Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the den. Appreciate you hitting that play, be it either there on YouTube or wherever you're listening to the audio version of this here show. But I very much appreciate you coming over here to hang out with me, man. Today in the den, we're going to be talking about the film 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Going to be spoiler free, of course. I checked that out. That was the second film I saw in theaters last week. Before I saw it after seeing Primate. The review for Primate's already out. If you check that out, if you've already checked it out, thank you very much for that. Very much appreciated. If you've not, it is already out here on the YouTube channel, man. But after that, I watched this one. Love doing me a double feature in the movie theaters, man. Might do it again this weekend. A couple movies that have come out in January. Big January month. Month of January been pretty big movie wise. At least a lot of releases that I want to see and all that stuff. I'm not talking box office. I don't know. I don't really look at the box office stuff, man. I'm just a guy who likes to watch movies. But there's been a lot of movies that have come out so far this month, and we still got a couple weeks left for movies and all that. But fun stuff out there, man. So it might be another double feature this weekend if I can swing it that way. But nonetheless, we are here to talk Bone Temple, man. There is your poster. 28 years later, Bone Temple is rated R for gore, language throughout, strong bloody violence, brief drug use, and graphic nudity. Film runs in at 1 hour and 50 minutes and is classified as a horror, mystery, thriller film. We like to call that the trifecta of awesome over here in the den, man. So 28 years later, The Bone Temple is the second film in the new trilogy that they're putting out there with the 28 franchise, if you like to call it, 28 Days Later franchise. But these are, of course, the 28 years later movies. We had the one come out last year, and then now we're pretty much connecting right on into this movie and then going forward from there. So um, this movie is going to follow closely right after the last one. So we've got the kid that we primarily spent the most time with in the last 28 years later movie. We're following along with him and where that movie ended. Mild spoilers, he ran into the Teletubby group. If you know, you know. He ran into that group. We're following along with him as being around that group and all the stuff that's going on within that group and just the craziness and the way they are. We learn about them a little bit more and all that stuff throughout this movie. So if we're not spending time there, we are spending time with Ray Fiennes' character, the Doctor, and Samson, our alpha freaking dong swinging of a zombie out there that everybody talked about and praised from the last movie and all that stuff. Those are your main components to this here storyline. Still kind of the basic same world, still the zombie stuff going on and all that stuff. And nothing really else there. You're spending time with this group and what they do, and you're spending time with the doctor, what he does, and then of course with Samson and what's going on between that stuff. Gonna be honest with you, man. I be real upfront with you, and I'm not saying that this is a bad movie by any means. I'm not saying this, but for me, it did not do anything really. I was left kind of in a meh with the movie throughout the majority of the time I was watching it, seeing that it was 1 hour and 50 minutes. Did not feel like that. It felt kind of longer. I don't know what it is with this franchise for me to where it doesn't pull me in like it pulls in a lot of people. And I like zombie films and I like all that stuff. But like if it wasn't for the ending of this movie, the rest of it just wouldn't have I don't want to say it wouldn't have mattered because I knew and know what they were doing. I know the storyline that they're telling. It wasn't hard to follow along with what they were doing, especially with Doctor and Samson's characters and all that stuff. But it just fell flat for me, man. Like I just wasn't overly into it, and except for like one scene that involved the Doctor and all that stuff, which is really freaking cool. I'm not gonna talk about it, obviously because I don't want to give spoilers. Cool, fun scene involving the Doctor and all that. The rest of it just wasn't connecting with me. It's just again with all of these movies, kind of that way. I wasn't overly into the one last year, and I'm not overly into this one either. So it's one of those weird feelings, man. When you watch a movie and you're like, it's not bad, but it's like also not thoroughly entertaining me either. Like there's times where was just not interested in the movie and all that stuff. And like buddy I was with heard him fall asleep for a moment. We went into the lobby after we left the movie, ran into a couple people. They're like, "Man, this movie was not all that good." It's like if it wasn't for the ending, the movie wouldn't have been great either, man. Like they felt that way. So the people we saw the movie around weren't overly into this movie either. And I it's hard to explain what it is about the movie. Dry, maybe, but it's like one of those things. Well, you don't like dialogue. I like dialogue movies, man. Like I've got no problem with dialogue movies and all that stuff. But it's just something about this movie just never fully resonated with me to where it kept me very entertained and all that stuff. Again, I knew what they're doing. It's not hard to understand what they're doing, and obviously it's the middle of a trilogy, so they're building story pieces here and all that stuff, and where we're going there and how we get into the next part. But it just fell flat for me, man. So quick review of it is not a bad movie. I think if you are a huge fan of the franchise, maybe you'll enjoy it. Again, I'm in that weird world with this franchise to where I haven't really enjoyed any of them. Maybe the first movie's all right, but the rest of them I just haven't really connected with. Um, and this movie's just in that same area. Again, Ray Fiennes, fantastic. He's always fantastic. Great actor. Um, really good performances throughout the movie. Story is very basic and easy to follow along with. Um, but yeah, other than that one scene, there's not really much memorable about it. Kind of brought it up when I was talking. I hintily teased it when I was talking about it on my Primate review that Primate looked better. Like as far as the kills and the violence and all that stuff, it was much better in Primate than it was in this movie, which isn't necessarily a thing to talk about with most movies, but we're talking about horror films here, right? It was just better. Primate just overall was better in every single aspect to me. So if you're trying to see a movie, go see that one. Again, not a bad movie, but didn't connect with me and really honestly in any way. So that is my quick thoughts on 28 years later. I know this is a franchise people love and are very excited about that trilogy, so that's unfortunate. But again, this hasn't been a franchise that I've been deeply into, so maybe my uninterest in it is not the same as your uninterest in it. Let me know in the comments, man. Keep it civil, keep it nice, man. But in the comments, if you saw the movie and you enjoyed it, let me know, man. Because again, there's that one scene, you know what I'm talking about, involves Ray Fiennes. Was cool. Like, that scene was like to remind you that you matter, you're capable, of incredible things. Trust in yourself, believe in yourself, give yourself some peace, give yourself some kindness, man, and chase after those goals and keep going, man. You're going to be accomplish some great things because you do always and completely truly matter, man. So appreciate you hanging out with me here in the den. We'll have more stuff to talk about. Have another review I'll probably throw out here before the end of this week. If you're into audio versions, the audio version's out wherever you listen to audio podcast. There'll be more stuff to come on this channel. We're waiting on HHN stuff, but there will be stuff talking. I might just start talking about theme park stuff on this channel. Who knows? But as always, appreciate you hanging out, and you better, man. Talk to you next time here in the den.